Today, we are diving into one of the biggest, fastest shifts in the history of education. I mean it. Artificial intelligence has officially gone from being just some niche app to a core feature of the modern school. So what does this new reality actually look like right now? Let's get into it.
And I really want to hammer this point home. We are so far past the stage of asking if AI belongs in education. For millions of students and faculty, it's just there. It's embedded directly into the tools they have to use every single day.
All right, so first up, let's just get a sense of how deep this really goes. We're not talking about small experiments. We are talking about massive, system-wide rollouts that are changing the entire landscape as we speak. I mean, just look at the scale of this. Canvas, the learning management system that thousands of schools use, now has AI built right in, natively. You've got Indiana University and the enormous California State University system giving ChatGPT EDU to hundreds of thousands of users. And then you have entire state systems like Pennsylvania's partnering up with giants like Google to teach AI literacy. This isn't some tiny pilot program, folks. This is a full-on systemic overhaul.
But you know, when you move this fast, things get complicated. And this rapid integration is leading to a really complex, very divided reaction. The results coming out of the classroom are anything but simple, and the data, well, it's revealing some pretty surprising splits.
So check this out. This is what's so interesting. When you look at the actual student experience, you might expect a simple love it or hate it, right? But that's not what's happening. The majority, a full 55% of students report mixed effects. It helps sometimes, sure, but it can also get in the way of real deep thinking. Only about a quarter of students are saying it's purely positive.
And if you dig a little deeper, the data shows a pretty stark gender gap. 33% of men say AI has had positive effects on their work. But for women, that number drops to just 20%. That's a huge difference, and it makes you ask some really important questions about who these tools are actually built for right now.
And you can see this exact division playing out in public, creating this huge debate. On one side, you have proponents arguing that AI tutoring could totally revolutionize test scores. But on the other side, you have students themselves writing in The Atlantic warning that it's undermining their ability to think critically. And that right there, that's the core tension. Is it a powerful tool for performance, or is it a potential crutch? Figuring that out is the whole challenge of AI literacy today.
But here's something that really cuts through a lot of that noise. For all the fear and panic about cheating, the research is showing something else entirely. That's not the main reason students are using it. They're actually turning to AI as a thinking partner, to brainstorm ideas, to check their grammar, and just to explore new topics.
So, with all this complexity and debate swirling around, what's actually working, on the ground? Let's look at the practical strategies that educators are using right now to get through this.
Okay, so the teachers who are really nailing this, they are not banning AI. No way. They're integrating it, but they're doing it smartly. They start by just modeling how to use it right there in class. They scaffold their assignments, break them down into smaller steps, and this is crucial. They frame AI as a brainstorming assistant, not an answer machine. And they explicitly teach their students how to critically evaluate everything the AI spits out.
And all of this really boils down to a guiding philosophy that's being called skeptical optimism. It's this idea of embracing the potential of these amazing tools, but at the same time building in really clear guardrails and teaching students to be healthy skeptics. The AI is both a tool and an object of study.
Now look, these practical, on-the-ground approaches are absolutely vital, but they don't solve the massive system-level challenges that are still looming over everything. So let's talk about the big questions that we as a society are still really struggling with.
First and foremost, and this might be the biggest one, is the question of equity. I mean, if AI really is the future of learning, how on earth can we make sure that every single student, no matter their background or where they live, has fair access to it?
And if you think that question is just abstract, look at this number, 60%. That is the percentage of primary schools worldwide that don't even have internet. The digital divide is already massive, and AI could easily make those existing gaps even wider, not close them.
And that leads to this other huge debate for educators. Where should we put our energy, right? Should we get into this endless technological arms race, always trying to detect AI-generated text, or should we just focus on redesigning our assignments so that using AI doesn't even matter for proving that you've actually learned something? There's no obvious answer here.
So the big question is, with so much up in the air, what do we do now? How do you take all this information and turn it into real action in your own classroom or at your school this semester?
Here are 3 concrete things you can do. First, add a clear AI policy to your syllabus. Just be explicit about what's allowed and what's not. Second, experiment a little. Try one assignment that's totally AI-proof, like an in-class presentation, and another that's AI-inclusive, where students actually have to use and critique an AI's output. And finally, make skepticism a learning outcome. Actively teach students how to verify, cite, and reflect on anything an AI gives them.
UNESCO put it perfectly. Teachers cannot be coded. It highlights that irreplaceable human element of education. But as AI becomes this permanent fixture in our classrooms, it leaves us with this one final essential question. What is the new code of teaching in the age of intelligence? And figuring that out, well, that's what we'll all be doing together. Thanks for watching.